All right, everyone, welcome. Let's take a moment to just settle down. So it's been about 2 weeks since we had these morning sessions, and I'm happy to be back. This morning session is on what I'm going to call settling. And by settling, I mean the natural tendency for everything to come to rest. So instead of making things come to rest, you allow them to come to rest. So for the next half an hour or so, that's what's going to happen. We're going to just allow everything to come to rest. Everything in our life to just come to rest. And so all we have to do for the next half an hour or so is to not stir things up. Not try to want to make things any kind of special way. So let's just say that the part of your brain that likes to stir things up, that likes to endlessly keep on turning and twisting and shaking things up. And let's just say for the next half an hour, that part of your brain is just completely going to sleep. It is incapable of stirring things up. Even if it wants to, it cannot. And even if it tries to, it makes no difference. It's like when you press the clutch, no matter how much the engine revs, it makes no impact on the car. Because the engine has gotten unclutched from the rest of the car mechanism. So in the same way, you've become unclutched from the tendency to stir things up. And now everything's just going to settle. Intensity of settling. So sit comfortably in any position. Just be physically comfortable. And enjoy this process of settling. Yesterday I interviewed a wonderful being, Peter Mount Shasta, and I shared that interview on Facebook as well, also on YouTube. And he talked about how he was feeling that his time on earth is over and maybe it's best for him to end his life now. and he sought permission from all the masters. And a being called Saint-Germain appeared to him, ascended master. And he said, you can end your life if you like, but let me show you something. Took him to another dimension where everything is in bliss. And there he heard the cries coming from some place. And he turned around and he thought, the cries coming from earth. Beings on earth are crying. He said, what's that about? He said, the beings on earth are crying. We always hear their cries here. And he right away decided he wants to go back. So I found that story really powerful. And so after that interview, I began invoking Saint-Germain. Because Peter said, all you have to do is think of him. And I really had this beautiful settling feeling all of yesterday, which is why today's session is called Settling, Intensity of Settling. So right now, whether you understand or not, believe or not, know or not, I am inviting and invoking Saint-Germain to be present with us wherever each one of us is, whatever time, and whenever this video is ever played. I'm invoking and inviting the full presence of Saint-Germain to assist in this settling process. At every level of our being, conscious, unconscious, superconscious. As this process expands, you might discover that even things you never even knew were kind of clenched or tight or activated, those parts of you start relaxing, start settling. It's very much like a shedding process, like a tree in autumn is shedding its leaves. So many layers of our being, the subtle tension we are holding at many levels of our being, start to settle down, shedding autumn leaves. What really helps in this process is having a happy, trusting heart. A happy, trusting heart. You know, this unraveling is going to happen anyway. Why not approach it with a happy, trusting heart? and trust that the settling is happening even if you're not sure it is happening. It might appear that nothing is happening. But as we all know, appearances can be very deceptive. Nothing fools us as much as our thoughts. And attachment to feelings also leads to all kinds of distortion. So let thoughts come and go. Let the feelings flow. Let that unknown, mysterious power that has created life take care of life. We just settle. And again, invoking the presence and the grace and the support of Saint-Germain. For me, it's a very specific resonance, very specific frequency when I think of Saint-Germain. It's really graceful, it's really poised, it's really clean. And there's also something very, can I use the word contemporary or new or fresh? In other words, he represents the new. He represents the new age, the new time, the new possibility for all of us. No matter how many times we've taken old turns and found ourselves in the same place again and again, Saint-Germain offers us a new possibility. It's that point where water, having remained water for a very long time, suddenly becomes steam. The state change. So enter this dimension of settledness. Having been at any level restless, allow yourself to be really settled. Really, really settled. What does being completely settled look like, taste like, feel like? You know what? It looks like, tastes like, feels like exactly what this moment looks like, tastes like, feels like. It's the very non comparison of this moment with any other imagined moment that creates perfect, perfect settledness. We're settling into this reality, this experience. No other reality. We're not aching or pining or seeking any other reality. That would be the same game, isn't it? It's this reality. It's this moment. It's non resistance to what is. A couple of days back, I was skating for an hour. Then I sat down on a bench and I was so exhausted. And I just sat there looking at the sky. And I just surrendered to that exhaustion. And it was like a mystical experience. It was so complete. It was so complete. It's like all the aching parts of my body were in ecstasy when I stopped trying to change them or resist them in any way whatsoever. So for the next 10 minutes, I'm inviting an even deeper settling, more than you imagined, is possible, can be possible. And again, you have to make no effort for this. It's going to happen. Just be open and receptive. I invoke and invite Saint-Germain to assist each one of us in this process of settling, stabilizing, let us be completely open. Let there be an irreversible settling. The parts of your life that you are so convinced only you have to figure out, I want you to offer those up as well. I want you to unclench those as well and let them settle. Unclench. I'm reminded of a teaching by Wu Xin. Wu Xin says that the problem is not that we think too highly of ourselves. The problem is not that we think too lowly of ourselves. The problem is that we think constantly of ourselves. So settle. What is there to think about? From somewhere this life has begun. From somewhere all these things have appeared. Let the choreographer handle the choreography. Just follow the movements without thinking that the dance is about getting to a certain point on the dance floor. That's not the purpose of the dance, to get you to a certain place on the dance floor. The purpose of the dance is the dance. Settle. And I want to say this to you from I want to say this to you with all conviction, with the full force of my life experience. That both your clarity and your confusion are a blessing. That both your so-called right decisions and your so-called wrong decisions are a blessing. All your so-called lofty good qualities, all your so-called distorted, convoluted, dark qualities are essential in the process of your unraveling. part of the dance. Just like I surrendered to the exhaustion a couple of days back, can you surrender to your exhaustion? It may not be physical exhaustion. Just surrender to it. Let it settle. Feel it. Feel into it. I see a really bright, I don't want to say the word future, but I see a really bright possibility for each one of you on this call today. And each one of you who have listened to this, I see a really bright potential possibility. It's actually not even a possibility because it's inevitable. The settling is inevitable. And the inner brightness that you are, which is transcending the polarities, the lefts and the rights, the goods and the bads, the doing and the knowing, the becoming. You will be fulfilled. You are fulfilled. Continue with this practice as long as required.